Ever caught your feline friend eyeing your bowl of cherries? Maybe you've wondered if it's okay to share this sweet treat with your furry companion. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the juicy topic of whether cats can eat cherries. It's a question that might seem simple, but the answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. So, let's get to the bottom of this cherry mystery. First things first, let's talk about what's in a cherry. These little red fruits are packed with vitamins and antioxidants. They're a healthy snack for humans, no doubt about it. But when it comes to our feline friends, things get a bit more complicated. You see, cats are obligate carnivores. This means their bodies are designed to get nutrients primarily from meat. Their digestive systems aren't built to handle a lot of plant matter. So, while we might enjoy a handful of cherries, our cats' bodies process them differently. Now let's address the big question. Are cherries toxic to cats? The short answer is, it depends. The flesh of the cherry itself isn't toxic to cats. But here's where it gets tricky. The cherry pit, stem, and leaves contain cyanide. Yes, you heard that right, cyanide. It's the same substance that's famously known as a poison. In cherries, it's in the form of cyanogenic glycosides. When ingested, these compounds can release cyanide in the body. This is why we need to be extra careful when it comes to cats and cherries. Let's break this down a bit more. If your cat somehow gets hold of a whole cherry, including the pit, it could be dangerous. The pit is not only a choking hazard, but also contains those cyanogenic glycosides we talked about. Even a small amount of cyanide can be harmful to a cat's small body. Symptoms of cyanide poisoning in cats can include difficulty breathing, bright red gums, and in severe cases, shock or even death. It's pretty scary stuff, right? But don't panic just yet. Remember, we're talking about the pit, stem, and leaves here. The cherry flesh itself isn't the problem. However, that doesn't mean you should start feeding your cat cherries regularly. Even without the toxic parts, cherries aren't an ideal snack for cats. Let's talk about why. Cats' digestive systems are specialized for processing meat. They lack certain enzymes that help break down plant matter efficiently. This means that even the non-toxic parts of a cherry can cause digestive upset in cats. Your kitty might experience vomiting, diarrhea, or abdominal pain if they eat cherries. It's not worth the risk, especially when there are so many cat-friendly treats available. Now, you might be thinking, but what if my cat accidentally eats a cherry? First, don't panic. If it's just one cherry and your cat seems fine, they'll likely be okay. However, it's always best to keep an eye on them. Watch for any unusual behavior or signs of distress. If you're worried or notice any symptoms like vomiting or lethargy, it's best to contact your vet right away. It's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to our furry friends. Let's talk about some safer alternatives for your cat. If you want to give your cat a treat, there are plenty of options that are both safe and enjoyable for them. Small pieces of cooked chicken or fish are usually a hit with cats. Some cats even enjoy small amounts of certain vegetables like cooked pumpkin or green beans. Always introduce new foods slowly and in small amounts to see how your cat reacts. And remember, treats should only make up a small part of your cat's diet. Now, you might be wondering, what about other fruits? While some fruits are safe for cats in small amounts, many are not. Grapes and raisins, for example, are toxic to cats and can cause kidney failure. Citrus fruits can cause upset stomachs. And while a small bit of banana or apple might be okay, they're not really necessary for your cat's diet. When in doubt, it's always best to stick to cat-specific treats or foods recommended by your vet. Let's take a moment to talk about cat nutrition in general. Cats are unique creatures with specific dietary needs. In the wild, cats get most of their nutrition from hunting small prey. This means their bodies are adapted to digest and use nutrients from animal sources. A cat's ideal diet is high in protein, moderate in fat, and low in carbohydrates. They also need certain nutrients like taurine, which is found naturally in animal tissues. This is why it's so important to feed your cat a balanced, species-appropriate diet. Commercial cat foods are formulated to meet these specific needs. Whether you choose dry kibble or wet food, Make sure it's specifically designed for cats. Some people opt for raw or homemade diets, but these require careful planning to ensure they're nutritionally complete. If you're considering a special diet for your cat, it's always best to consult with your veterinarian first. Now let's circle back to our cherry question. We've established that cherries, especially the pits and stems, are not safe for cats. But what if you're enjoying cherries and your cat seems interested? It's natural for cats to be curious about what we're eating. However, it's important to resist the urge to share. Instead, you could use this as an opportunity to give your cat a cat-appropriate treat. This way, you're both enjoying a snack, but your cat is getting something safe and suitable for them. Remember, just because a food is healthy for us doesn't mean it's good for our cats. Cats have very different nutritional needs than humans. What's a superfood for us might be harmful to them. This is why it's so important to educate ourselves about what our pets can and can't eat. If you're ever unsure about whether a food is safe for your cat, it's always best to err on the side of caution. A quick internet search or a call to your vet can provide the information you need. It's part of being a responsible pet owner to keep harmful foods out of reach. Let's talk about some general tips for keeping your cat safe from harmful foods. First, make sure to store fruits like cherries in a secure place where your cat can't reach them. Be careful about leaving food unattended on counters or tables. Some cats are surprisingly good at getting into places they shouldn't. If you have houseplants, make sure they're not toxic to cats. Many common houseplants can be harmful if ingested. It's also a good idea to teach your cat the leave it command. This can be helpful in preventing them from eating something they shouldn't. Of course, cats are independent creatures and training them isn't always easy, but with patience and consistency, many cats can learn basic commands. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever caught your cat trying to sneak a bite of something they shouldn't? What's the strangest thing your cat has ever tried to eat? Share your stories in the comments below. And if you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more pet-related content. Before we wrap up, let's recap the main points. Cherries, especially the pits, stems, and leaves, are not safe for cats. While the flesh isn't toxic, it's still not a good snack choice for our feline friends. Cats are obligate carnivores, and their digestive systems aren't designed to handle fruits. It's always best to stick to cat-specific treats and a balanced diet formulated for cats. When in doubt, consult with your veterinarian about what's safe for your furry friend. Thanks for joining me on this cherry adventure. Remember, a healthy cat is a happy cat. By understanding what our feline friends can and can't eat, we're taking an important step in keeping them safe and healthy. Until next time, give your kitty an extra pat from me.